Hi, I'm Callum and I'm here to talk to you today about LawY. Been out to see a private client firm very recently and we went through some scenario questions that really demonstrated the versatility of LawY, and we're going to run through these examples today. So I'm going to ask LawY some questions and then I'm going to fill you in on the answers as we're going through. So the first question that we asked was, the estate is worth 400,000. Does the estate need to pay inheritance tax? And sure, we want to include Scots law and citations for each section here. So we asked this question and we let LawY do its thing. So it runs a search and does some really quick research on the subject and comes back with some information. So the first section, it brings you statutory framework, and then it comes back with thresholds and rates, and then comes back with the tax rate. And if we scroll down and we keep going, we'll get the application to a £400,000 estate and the basic calculation, any potential exemptions, Scots case law and citations that are relevant to this, because we asked for that. We've got a summary of the law, we've got gaps and areas for interpretation that you can go deeper into, which we shall in a moment. And then it brings you out to the conclusion at the bottom. So it brings us down to the conclusion. It gives us the resources here, which we can scroll through and we can select from, and the citations are also searchable as well. From there, we want to go a little bit further and we want to ask some deeper questions. So the next question we're going to ask is in relation to spousal relief. So one of the sections that we covered earlier, which was potential exemptions. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into that particular area in question. So expand on the unused spousal relief section and provide a full breakdown of that scenario. So I'll just run you through that, what the results that have came back. As you can see, they're very, very quick. And so first of all, it comes back with the statutory framework, and it covers the parts set out in the Inheritance Tax Act 1984, Section 8A, Section 8B and Section 8C. This is in relation to the relief referred to as the transferable nil rate band. And the principle of that relief, some key points of interest. We've got a worked example here of a £400,000 estate. It gives you a scenario, a step-by-step calculation, compare estate value to available nil rate band, determine the IHT liability, and additional considerations. We've then got some case law and authority and some examples here, practical steps for executors, a summary table of the scenario, some key statutory references, and again with a conclusion giving some detailed information as well. So it gives us a really full, complete answer here, but we wanted to go a little bit further at this point, and we wanted to ask a little bit more of a complex question that is related to this. And the question was, well, it's a double question actually. So it's can a double-sided will be accepted for confirmation if it's signed only on one side? And should I wait 6 months before I distribute the estate? So it's a double question here. So this will give it a little bit of a challenge to answer. So we've got the double-sided will in section 1. So it answers the questions separately. So double-sided will signed on one side, admissibility for confirmation. You've got some key legal issues, some statutory and case law principles, requirements of right in Scotland Act 1995, some case law specific to the scenario. You've got practical guidance here. We've got how that is rolled out in practice with an example of confirmation office from the Sheriff Court and what they would accept. We've got some citations here. And then it moves on to section 2, waiting 6 months before distributing the estate. So some key legal issues that we cover, statutory and case law principles, the prescribed period, section 9, Succession Scotland Act 2016, and section 6, Prescription and Limitation Scotland Act 1973. So it gives you some really detailed information. You've got the 6 months rule, executor's caution, distribution before 6 months, and what you can do at your own risk, and it gives you some citations again. If we keep scrolling down, we'll see the summary of a double-sided will and the summary of waiting 6 months. It's just saying here you should wait 6 months from the date of death before distributing the estate to protect against claims. Distributing earlier exposes executors to personal liability. So it gives you the advice and information that you can pass on to your client as well. And then it gives us some detailed references here that will become clickable shortly as well. once it's finished its search running all the way through. So we're quite happy with all that information. The last question we want to ask is we want to summarise this information in detail for the client in a draft letter and email, ensuring it's detailed but easy to understand for the client. So we're going to run that. It's going to produce a draft jump-off point for us to create our documentation to the client as well. So we can see there, we've got a draft documentation for confirmation and distribution of the deceased estate, the validity of a double-sided will signed on one side, timing of estate distribution, a summary of the information there, and then an email to match that as well. So yeah, so it summarises the documentation for us and gives us a great jump-off point which we can copy to a clipboard. We can paste that into an email. We can paste that into a draft document to then be further amended and tailored for the client. And we can also click on this little star icon here, and we can ask AI for some more powerful example tools. So we've got the option to make it shorter. We've got the option to remove personal information if any personal information has been provided. We've got the ability to improve the writing here. Just quick shortcuts to change the information before you're ready to send it out. We can even fix spelling and grammar here as well, if it's something that perhaps you've drafted a document yourself and you've fed it in here to then get it to refine it and further enhance it. And you've got the translate option, which is becoming even more popular now, with lots of firms asking us if they're able to translate their documentation into another language for clients that they work with that of course speak a different language. And you've got the option to translate into a multitude of different languages here as well, as you can see. So it's a very, very powerful tool. It allows you to do deep research, which we can go further with. And of course, you can then produce documentation. You can improve and refine that documentation once you've got the information together. You can translate it, you can improve the writing, you can fix the spelling and the grammar. So lots of really powerful shortcut tools there that can just get you to the point and get you to that part where you're servicing and providing that high level of client care, which is why they come back to you time and again. But from there, before you do send anything out to the client in matter, I should just cover off that we do also have the deep research and human verification option as well. The deep research and human verification option allows you to submit the responses. If you can't verify it yourself, or you can't verify it with a senior member of the team in your firm, for example, you can then submit this for free verification as well, and that'll go away. And that's free of charge, included in the package as well. And it allows you to search on specific items within the searches that you've done today. I can then follow that through and mark the items that I do want to research, and I can either request a deep research on this or deep research with verification as well, and it will send that away to be verified. And then this constantly improves the model and improves the searching and the responses that come back, and the more it's used, the better it becomes.